In a dark world, remember to be the light. Welcome to Black Swan Revelations. Here is your host, the Black Swan himself, Shane.
Well, as the Republican National Convention begins, we still have some footage coming out. And really, it's been less than 48 hours. And people are sending in footage. You got to think, when you see the thousands, there's probably like 30,000 people there, maybe less. Everybody had their cameras going. Everybody. So you can only imagine that as the days progress, we're going to be getting more footage. So it's if you are a news broadcaster, Fox, CNN, whoever, ABC, NBC, this is your go time, because there are going to be people calling you saying, I have footage. I have new footage of the shooter. I have another angle. I have another angle. And what we're starting to see here is a little bit of a story of the shooter himself being on the roof for a little while. So I am not going to blame the snipers at all, because I think what they had to deal with, it only makes sense logically. If you think about it logically, if you don't get your emotions involved, that let me just back up here. We're assuming that there was a guy on the roof about to shoot Donald Trump, and he was sitting there for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes with a big scope on, lining it up, just waiting for the exact time that he is going to shoot. That's what we assume, because we've watched too many movies. From the sniper's perspective, their guns are in that area towards that rooftop right off the gate. They're pointed in that direction. So don't think they didn't know that they're to be watching people on the roof. But there was nobody on the roof. There's nobody there. So if you get a commotion of people off to your left waving and all this stuff, and they're saying there's somebody there, and there's only two of you on the roof, you're getting mixed signals coming in your headset saying there's somebody in the roof, whatever it is. That could take like a second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, whatever, for you to process. And what people don't understand, and maybe this is a good point to bring up, is you can't just shoot people for being on a roof. You can't do that. What kind of a country would we live in if you could just shoot anybody just because they're somewhere that you think that they shouldn't be? I'm going somewhere with this because it's time. It's time we're facing. So what we are coming at this, we know all the evidence, or most of it anyway, and it's coming through every day. So we put our assumptions onto the snipers and say, kill. As soon as you see a person, kill them. Kill them, kill them, kill them. That's what we're saying. You have 4 seconds to decide to take a soul's life. 4 seconds. And if you don't see him right away, you probably have 2 seconds. You got to decide to kill someone in 2 seconds. That's what we're telling these people. Make a decision. You see a person, whether walking on the grounds outside the boundary, looks suspicious, take them out. That's what we're saying to these snipers. We're asking them to make a decision to kill someone within 2 seconds. I'm not sticking up for the shooter, but I'm trying to get you to understand that in some instances, time stands still, and in some instances, time speeds up. For us, it's sped up because we think, oh, yeah, okay, look, Trump gets shot. That means shooter is over here exactly on this part of the roof. Shoot him. That took me more than 4 seconds to say. So if we're just being honest with ourselves, take our biases out and just look at what's going on, now you could start to put pieces together and just say, you know what? I think they did an awesome job at taking out the guy as fast as they did. Because when you think about it, it could have went horrible. It could have been a shooter on the loose. Shooter not only shot Trump, but now he's on the loose and we don't know where he is. And there's people, he could be one of the people in the crowd because the crowd's dispersing. They're running all over the place. I don't think we fully understand how this could have went really, really bad. It was bad enough to be shot, but it could have, we might still have a fugitive on the loose today. It's that possible. It's happened before where shooters have gotten away from the police, and then now we're doing a nationwide manhunt for the guy and distracting from the Republican National Convention. So I'm just trying to build a case that there was not as much time as you think the snipers had. There may not be as much time as you think. Because again, we're looking at it from a Hollywood perspective where bad guy shows up and he's there and he's just waiting for minutes. Just sitting there with his gun for minutes until he makes the final shot with his little scope, adjusting all this stuff. That's Hollywood. But it may not have actually happened that way. And we're gonna have a look. So I'm gonna show this footage that just popped up today. Let's have a look at it. And then we'll come back to the comments and see what you guys think. So this is one. Actually, this one came up 21 hours ago. So this is one angle that we're going to look at. And then we're going to look at a different angle. And let me make this full screen. All right. There. Okay, so let's have a look here.
2 Secret Service sniper teams could be seen on rooftops behind former President Donald Trump less than 2 minutes before gunfire erupted at a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania on Saturday. They appear to be getting into position facing the direction of the gunman who authorities say fired the shots that grazed former President Trump.
Look what happened.
Trump said a bullet struck him in the ear. Here's how the attack unfolded. President Trump was speaking from a stage located here. The suspected gunman was on the roof of another building less than 450 feet away from where Trump was speaking, with a clear line of sight. 1 minute and 32 seconds before shots are heard, we can see 2 Secret Service sniper teams moving into place on the roofs behind the former president. One on the south roof and one on the north roof, facing the direction of the shooter. It's unclear if they were repositioning or setting up for the first time.
And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country.
Moments before the shooting, we can hear nearby spectators saying they see someone with a gun. While Trump speaks, the Secret Service snipers are still facing the gunman's direction. We then see an agent on the north roof pick his head up just before shots ring out at 6:15. Secret Service agents rush to pull Trump to the ground. As they rush him off the stage, blood can be seen on the bleachers behind where Trump was speaking. A spectator was killed and 2 more were critically injured at the event, the Secret Service said. The suspected gunman, 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, was shot and killed, according to the FBI.
All right, so I'm just going to back this up here. I want you to watch these snipers here. Just watch this here.
Into place on the roofs behind the former president. One on the south roof and one on the north roof, facing the direction of the shooter. It's unclear if they were repositioning or setting up for the first time.
And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country.
Moments before the shooting, we can hear nearby spectators saying they see someone with a gun. While Trump.
Okay, so this is the important part to watch here. The sniper is, it's hard to tell from this angle, but he's either looking through the scope or he's looking to the left of him to see what people are pointing at. Because people are pointing at the roof saying there's a gun, there's a shooter, whatever. They're saying they're creating a commotion. So if you're the sniper, you're looking at the people to see where they're pointing at. And notice the sniper's head looking again at the scope and lifting his head up. This to me is an indication that he couldn't see the person on the roof yet, because you don't put your head up unless you're thinking to get a little bit better of a view. And I've done this. I've shot guns. You're looking, maybe there's a little hill and you see a gopher or some animal or something on the other side, like a target or something on the other side of the hill. You lift up your head just a little bit to see a better perspective. Then you have to know whether or not you got to lift up your gun or whatever. He didn't have that much of a chance. He's looking up and the shots now are fired because I believe the gunman actually started crawling up to a position where he could actually shoot. Because think about it, where these snipers are right now. If that sniper crouched down maybe 2 feet, the shooter on the other roof will not see these snipers. For sure, he will not see the guy on the right because there's 2 snipers on this roof. So that the shooter that's shooting Trump cannot see the sniper on the right. I think that's fair. So imagine if the sharpshooter or the shooter, we'll call him the assassin, imagine if he's lying down like the second sniper. You're not going to see him until he pops his head up like the first sniper. The first sniper is actually higher than the second sniper, and he actually peeked his head. He took a bit of a chance by lifting his head up. Then I believe he saw the sniper or the shooter, because the shooter was now aiming at Trump. But that tells me he wasn't there before, meaning he's probably crouching up and then taking his shot. And he's probably like a half a second from going back down and hiding again. So that's kind of the perspective. But we're going to go to another footage, another angle to show you something here. So let me just come back and hopefully this makes sense to you. So again, looking at it from the shooter's perspective, there's no chance he would see the sniper over here. Why? Because the sniper is almost hidden from the view. That's the case I'm trying to build here. Is the roof that the shooter was on is kind of like this roof. It has a slope on it. So that's important. That tells you that the snipers on this roof cannot see who's doing the shooting until they pop their head up to make a shot. Then you can take them out. So let me just stop. Let me find another camera angle, because I think this is important. This one here. This is decent footage here. It's coming. Just a little delay. Okay. Okay, so this is a different camera angle that we're going to watch. And I'm trying to build the case for the snipers having less time than we give them. That's what I'm trying to do here. So let's play it. Let me see. All right, here we go. So we'll watch it, and if I have to play it again, I have to play it again. It's only 52 seconds.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. There he is right there.
Okay, it's going to be very hard to see until we watch it again, and then you'll see the shooter.
Right there, see him? He's laying down. See him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
What's happening?
Because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever.
Yeah, look. There he is.
Because we have millions.
Right there. So you could see his pants are kind of beige, whitish, and then the top half of him is kind of a camouflage green. Almost matches the roof and almost watches the tree line. So you got to remember that as well. This guy is quite camouflaged, so let's just play it a little bit. You could see him move now. Right there. He's just moving. He just lifted himself up a little bit. He's crawling slowly, and he's on an angled slope. So because this is shot, I don't know, this is shot. They're not holding their phone wide, which like a wide angle, that would be perfect. But this, you could see the slope of the roof. He is hidden right now. So keep that in mind. We could be yelling to our face is red that there's somebody there. The snipers cannot see him yet. There, he just lied down flat.
Dangerous people.
Why you would move your camera down is beyond me. A guy needs to take a course to be like, okay, look, if you're gonna videotape something, hold the camera still. This drives me crazy. This is why you get onto conspiracies, because the second you need to see something, they pan away with their camera. It's ridiculous.
We have criminals. We have
there. So he's back again, top left-hand corner. So he just above the T where it says Trump rally. That's where he is. So again, poor camera footage. Up a little bit. There he is. He just crawled again. Man, why doesn't this guy just go up a little bit? Dude, you're so close. Just pan the camera up 2 inches. All right, so hopefully, let's just go back here. So maybe it wasn't clear. Hang on here 1 sec. Let's watch it again. My internet connection is crazy right now. All right, internet connections. Don't you love it?
He was doing the job. I wouldn't even be doing this. I'd be at some beautiful place.
Okay, I'm gonna go closer.
Look, they're all pointing.
The Atlantic, maybe the Pacific.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. There he is right there. Right there, see him? He's laying down. See him?
So he's lying down right there. Looks like because I know he has a rifle. These guys don't know he has a rifle, but how you would see this guy is amazing to me, unless one person spotted him. Like, he's not easy to see. So he's lying down, and he goes to crawl up the roof.
Yeah, he's laying down.
And Son, I'm here with you fighting like hell to get a Senate.
What's happening?
And to make sure we take back the White
So see how that angle is? He's got to crawl all the way up to here to see where Trump is, to have a shot at Trump. So all this area here, he's probably not able to be seen by the snipers.
Because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before. We're going to make it.
Yeah, look, there he is.
Because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people, criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here.
On the roof.
It's much tougher than it happens.
Wow, eh? Crazy. So if I get more footage, obviously in the next week there's going to be more footage. I'm sure there's at least one person that actually held the camera on the person on the roof there. Maybe not, but it seems weird. Like, I don't understand these people that are panning down whenever you see something that's action or something that is historically important. They pan down, or they put their camera down and they talk. It's just, hold the camera. It's okay to hold the camera, and then you do the looking around, because that's more important. You just hold your camera. I should do a little course on how to hold your camera. You don't look through the eyepiece. You don't do that to try and look. You don't stare into it. You hold it. You see the framing, and then you just hold your camera. Now you can look around. You can make sure you're safe, and your camera doesn't even move. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. You don't look at it and then look here. That's not what people don't want to see, that stuff. It makes them all sick. So hold your camera. Let this be a lesson. If you see a Black Swan event, hold your camera still. If you don't think you can do it, just put it down and leave it just for a couple of seconds, even after the event is over. Don't pick it up right away. Just let it settle. Anyways, what are you guys' thoughts? I'm going to look up another angle here, because I think there's one more that was. So this is the perspective again. Let me see here. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, my streaming is very bad today. I think this is the one here. Apologize for that. Just takes a little bit of time to queue up the footage. You know, you got to rewind the film. You got to put it in the canister. Get all the mice running in the back. All right, so let's just watch it from this angle here. This will give us a little bit more perspective now as well. And I think most of us have seen this, but in light of what we just saw, have a look at how fast the shooting happens, and let me know if you think the snipers had ample amounts of time. Ample.
It is exactly what these counter snipers trained to do. But this was the first time in history, according to a former senior agent, that a Secret Service sniper killed a would-be assassin. But clearly a shot too late. In the moments leading up to the deadly shooting.
Yeah, let me just back up here. Okay, so I wish I would have someone like Pete Garcia or someone that is in the Army. So here's what I'm thinking is going on. This guy is the main shooter. This guy is talking to him to help him see what he needs to see. I think he's the extra, because notice he has a headset on, so he's listening to his command. This guy up here has no headset. So the people yelling at him, saying he's got a gun, whatever, it would mean nothing to him. He has no idea. He's listening to this guy. Excuse me. So keep that in mind. He's ready to go. Finger is not on trigger. Notice that. Finger not on trigger. That's important as well. He's trying to assess whether or not the person is dangerous. Because again, if a young person is just on a roof to try and get a sneak peek at the president, that's not a crime against humanity. You don't kill him. If he has a gun, you can't kill him yet because you don't know what he's doing. Like, this is America. This is different than Canada. We don't walk around on streets with guns and concealed weapons and all kinds of stuff. We don't have those kind of rules. Everything has to be locked up in Canada. But in the States, their mentality is different. Just because you have a gun doesn't mean you can get shot. I think that's very important. So perhaps this sniper cannot see the person to see if he has yet. I think that's fair. And their job is to shoot if there's a threat. And obviously, once he fired a shot, they took him out right away. So blame these guys. What's interesting here is they had binoculars. Look at that. He had binoculars here. This other guy had binoculars, and they're set up, ready to shoot.
The first time in history, according to a former senior agent, that a Secret Service sniper killed a would-be assassin, but clearly a shot too late. In the moments leading up to the deadly shooting, you can see those two counter snipers.
Yeah, so they're getting ready to go. This guy's head just went down. So watch this guy's head go back down into the sight. So I think he's looking to try and assess whether or not he could even see the person.
Scanning for
there. So now he looks in.
Threats in their position.
He's getting a scope because this guy's probably telling him where to look.
On the rooftop behind former President Trump. Their high-powered rifles appear to be pointed in the direction of the gunman's position on an adjacent building overlooking the rally. Within seconds, chaos.
So the first shot, so let's just count here. The first 4 shots are the shooter. Watch this.
In an adjacent building overlooking the rally. Within seconds, chaos.
1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 shots fired. And then bang, 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 bang. So within a second, he's dead. So let's see. 2 seconds I count, max. That's how much reaction time these shooters have. The snipers, I should say. Folks, that is inhumanly fast. They are doing their job. They did their job perfectly. I would say perfectly. You can argue with me all day long and say they should have known, but again, they didn't see the guy until he popped up his head to fire a shot.
He's on top of the roof. Don't go over there.
The sniper appears momentarily startled by the gunfire, his face leaving the scope, but then quickly recovering and taking out the would-be assassin.
There's no room for error, so that shot placement has to be absolutely precise.
You can see the guy there.
Authorities saying this is the lifeless body of the shooter on the roof of that building. According to a former agent, Secret Service counter sniper teams should have scoped out and advanced all those areas.
There, that's a good shot. So if the guy was, I don't know, where would he have been? Somewhere, I'm guessing somewhere in the bottom half. So if you're taking a shot, there's bleachers right there. See the bleachers? To the upper left-hand side of the screen. He hit 1 or 2 people here. trying to get at Trump right here. He missed. He got someone in here, like he was off a bit. 2 shots, bam, bam, and then finally here. And I thought he hit someone over here behind Trump. So imagine somebody getting hit here, missed, and then because there was 3, I counted 3 shots. I thought there was 4. Point is, if he's off and doesn't have a scope, he's going to be hitting these people first until he gets a bead on Trump. Just because if you're off either to the right or to the left, this is almost in the way, especially if he's here. If he's right here somewhere, if you think about it, he's got to get to here. So that's probably like he was probably trying to crawl over so that he can get a better look at the president. And when he saw quick little peek on this side that he could take a shot, took the shot. These guys here are hiding behind here. Remember, there's one sniper on the roof here, one guy on the left. They took him out right away, like within a second. So that's something to think about.
Where there were potential threats beforehand and known what the line of sight to Trump could be.
The fact that somebody was able to get within 200 yards with a rifle and be on an exposed rooftop, be seen by other people there, be seen by where it should have been cameras and drones and many other things in place to watch for that, something broke down. Cameras and drones and many other things in place to watch for that, something broke down. That shooter with that rifle should have never been that close to the former president of the United States at a venue like this.
So let's bring him.
All right. Easy to say. Easy to say. I get it. It's hindsight. Everybody's upset that should never have happened, but there were police around. The question would be, how did this guy get up on the roof? Nobody saw him until he was on the roof. And then he was crawling. And I would applaud the snipers because they only had like a second to react. And probably the first time, like if you think about it from the shooter's perspective, he's hiding because he knows once he peeks up, that's it for him. So he has to make it count. There is a chance he can get shot or found out. So maybe he thought he had more time, peeked his head up. Takes like a second to find your target. Meanwhile, the other guys have a bead on him now. As soon as he fired, they're firing at him. So I don't know. Interesting, right? So the reason why I want to do this is to document this because what tends to happen is this footage kind of disappears after a while. As in, maybe people don't talk about it or whatever it is, or they just try and make it all go away. Who knows what. But as we're seeing more footage show up, we're going to get every angle. We're going to get every angle. And I think what's going to happen is people are going to be like, oh, that's how he did it. Like it'll be something like that. It'll be like, oh, that's why they didn't know. Maybe this guy was hiding out all night long. We don't know. Maybe he's hiding somewhere in the grass all night long. Don't know. Maybe it wasn't a priority there. Not sure, but you can't block off the whole world at once for one event. It's impossible. You just don't have enough manpower. But I think what they did was right when they had the snipers up on the roof. They're looking around at the most obvious place for someone to shoot as the president. They were scoping that place. As soon as the guy showed his head, shot, they took him out right away. So they did their job. The idea to say that they were looking all the time in that area. There was nobody there until a guy popped up with a gun. So it was well thought out on the shooter's part, like to know that he is going to be out of sight. I don't know if he realized that there is another roof that is a little bit higher than he was. Hard to say. But yeah, it always, we're using hindsight bias right now to piece this stuff together. That's what we're doing. And I always try to stay away from that. because that's what happens in a Black Swan event is you explain it away later. You say, oh, all the breadcrumbs are there. We should have known all this. Everybody's talking about he should be shot or not shot or whatever it is. It's going to happen. That's all kind of rhetoric stuff that people say all the time. Like they're always like, oh, why doesn't somebody take out the prime minister? There's people saying that for our runner-up, the guy that could replace Trudeau as prime minister, Pierre. What's his last name? Forgot his last name. Anyways, they're saying he should be taken out next and all this. It's like, do you guys understand what you're saying? You're saying to assassinate our leaders and stuff is okay. Like, it's weird. It's a weird concept. And then we put pressure on snipers and say you should have killed this guy a second you saw him. But again, I'm trying to paint a picture that you don't know what this guy's intentions are. He could have been one of those sneaky reporters trying to get some more footage or something. Who knows what? You don't know. The point is, you don't shoot first and ask questions later. That's not how it works. And that's sad, but it's a good thing as well. That's just the nature. You just can't shoot anybody unless they pose a threat. So the snipers assessed within a second that he's a threat because he shot and it was done. He was taken out. So we should applaud them for that. Could have been way worse. Could have been way worse. He could have shot a whole bunch of more people as well. So, yeah. Did he use the ladder? That's a good question. Yep. Yep. There's lots of questions. Don't know if there's another person. Kind of feels like it's just one person. But did he have a spotter? Maybe. He could have had someone saying this is a good time to go because there's no snipers, because they're just setting up. Maybe that's a good time. Maybe it took him a little bit longer to get on the roof because he's crawling slowly. And yeah, the crowd sees him, but that doesn't mean anything. Like, that's what I think in this day and age, we've watched too many movies. Now we're getting people that are actually piecing stuff together to tell their version of the story, to say, they said way in advance, there's a shooter and all this stuff. They didn't know. They didn't know this stuff. Like, they didn't know. Sure, you could say there's a person on the roof, but that doesn't help the authorities at all. Because again, if they have a radio, if they have a headset and you're doing all this stuff, they're going to be looking at you, wondering what you're trying to say to them, which gives the shooter time. So that's what you have to figure out. It's like, we assume the snipers have a headset that listens to the crowd, and if the crowd says there's a shooter, they're like, oh yeah, that person said it's over here on this barn or on this rooftop. So, okay, thank you. Like, that's not how it happens. He didn't even have a headset on, so he's listening to the guy below him. It's like, no, probably no shot. Can't see him. And then he gets up and goes to fire, and then bang, 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 bang. Takes him out. That's how fast it happens. You know they're communicating. Do you see anyone? Probably not. No. Oh, I see his head. He popped down. Should I take him out? Yeah, if he pops his head up, make sure he's got a gun, though. Pops up. Yeah, he's got a gun. Bang, bang, bang. And then they fire back. Bang, 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 bang. Done. That's how fast it happens. It's not easy just to say, oh, yeah, the guy was just lying there waiting and people see him and all this stuff. It happens really, really quick. So anyways, that's it for today's footage. Yeah, maybe. I know they've deleted some people's comments. They've actually unsubscribed some people from various channels. I think I've seen that from my channel from time to time. But whatever. So I hope you got something out of this. Go watch some of the convention that's on. There's the Republican National Convention that I believe it just started like a half an hour or so ago. So you go check it out. And I think Trump is going to be announcing who his vice president is going to be, I think. So it'd be interesting. Anyways, go check it out. See you guys in another video. Bye for now.